Welcome to session 21. So quickly, within 3 minutes, 3-4 minutes, we are going to revise what we have learned uh, in previous classes. So we discussed what is demand, isn't it? So demand, who has introduced the concept called demand? Who
Alfred
introduced
Alfred
Alfred
Marshall.
Marshall. So in 1890, in his book Principles of Economics, he introduced 4 very important keywords. According to him, the demand can be represented by those 4 words. What are they?
Desire,
Desire,
willingness,
willingness,
ability to purchase a commodity,
yeah, ability to pay for the commodity,
and time.
time. Very good. So the concept of demand focused on consumer behavior in the market, and simply we discuss this definition. It is a desire backed by willingness and ability to pay for the commodity. Desire, ability, willingness. So these 3 are very very important concepts, and especially in demand. Yeah. Then we discussed determinants of demand. Uh, the price of the product and income of the consumer, taste, habits, and preferences of the consumer, prices of the related commodities, consumer expectations, advertising effect, population, climate and weather, availability of credit, tax rates, and also other circulation of money, the saving pattern of people. We discussed various determinants which influence the demand of a commodity. Then we discussed types of demand: market demand and individual demand, company and industry demand, short-term and long-term demand, perishable and durable goods demand, derived and autonomous demand, income demand, price demand, cross demand. Then we discuss demand function. What is demand function? Demand function.
It is the algebraic expression between demand and its determinant.
Very good, excellent. So then we discussed, demand function. Then we discussed demand schedule. What is demand schedule? Anybody?
It shows inverse relationship between the two variables.
Yeah, it shows inverse relationship between the two variables. Generally, most commonly, it consists of 2 columns. So the first column
Price and
lists the
quantity.
price, the second.
Quantity.
Yeah, very good, very good. What is demand curve?
It's a graphical representation, sir.
Very good. It is a graphical representation of demand schedule. Yes. Then we discussed law of demand. All things being equal, ceteris paribus, if the price of the commodity increases, then what will happen? Then quantity
Quantity.
demanded will decrease. So there is an inverse relationship between the quantity demanded and quantity demanded of a commodity and its price. Then we discussed this example. Then we discussed various reasons for downward sloping curve, law of diminishing marginality, income effect, substitution effect, change in the number of consumers, diverse use of commodity. Then in the previous class, we discussed assumptions of law of demand. Income and income level should be remain constant. Tastes of the buyer should not alter. The prices of other goods should remain constant. No new substitutes for the commodity. Then price rise in future should not be expected. Then advertising expenditure should remain the same. Apart from these 6, we discussed another 2 also. What are the 2?
Taxes and
Yeah,
policies.
no change. Yeah, no change in tax policies. The second one is
No change
No.
in size and composition of population.
yes, no change in size and composition of population. Okay. Yeah. Today we are going to discuss. We're going to learn various exceptions to the law of demand. Okay. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Good, thank you. There are certain exceptions to the law of demand that with a fall in price, the demand will also fall, and there is an increase in the demand when the increase in price. Generally, according to the law of demand, when the price of a commodity decreases, what will increase? The demand will increase. When the price of a commodity increases, the demand will decrease. But in certain cases, even the price of a commodity increases, the demand will increase, and the price of a commodity decreases, the demand will decrease. So generally, you know, that is called, those are situations are called, you know, exception to the law of demand. Basically, exception to the law of demand refers to the conditions where the law of demand is not applicable, where the law of demand is not applicable. So in case of exceptions, the demand curve slopes an upward slope. Generally, demand curve slopes
Downward.
downward, but in exceptional, you know, demand curve, so the demand curve shows an upward slope from left to right, upward slope from left to right. That is, it has a positive slope. Demand curve has a positive slope and referred as an exceptional demand curve. That is called as an exceptional demand curve. So under certain circumstances, what will happen? The consumers buy more when the price of a commodity rises and less when price of a commodity falls. There are many factors and there are many, you know, causes are there because for this, you know, exception to the law of demand. Now we are going to discuss all those points. So simply exception to the law of demand means what? Exception to the law of demand means what? It refers to the conditions where the law of demand is not applicable. These are the situations where the law of demand is not applicable. Law of demand is invalid. Understood? So this is called, you know, exceptional demand curve. Exceptional demand curve. So please, I request everyone to draw this for a minute. I request everyone draw this. I'll give 1 minute time. Please do that. Yeah. I hope everyone draw the diagram. Done?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You need another minute?
No, sir.
Okay, then good. Then, you know, see, in this, you know, exceptional demand curve, so this is, you know, the positive sloping demand curve. So what is happening? Tell me. When the price of a commodity, increases,
Demand.
Demand also increases.
so from P1 to P2, when the price of a commodity increases from the P1 to P2, what is happening? The demand will is increasing from X1 to X2. Isn't it? So, but according to law of demand, when the price increases, demand has to decrease. But in this case, when the price increases, demand also increasing. When the price decreases, demand also decreases. That is called exceptional demand curve. It is a positive sloping demand curve. Positive sloping demand curve. Okay. Then what are the various exceptions to the law of demand? So we will discuss one after one. The first one is articles of distinction or Veblen goods. Articles of distinction or Veblen goods. So this exception was first of all discussed by Thorstein Veblen. So that's why it is called as Veblen goods. What are these? Anybody? What are Veblen goods or articles of distinction? These are the exception to the law of demand.
Veblen goods means prestigious goods, sir.
Very good. Veblen goods means prestigious goods. Very good.
Sure.
Who is that?
These are
Nishanta?
used as status.
Yes, sir.
Yes, thank you, Nishanta. No, yes, no, these goods are used as a status goods. Good. Good, Akila. Yes, very good. So basically, these commodities satisfy the desires of the upper class people in the society. These goods satisfy the desires of upper class people in the society. So according to Veblen, so these articles of distinction have more demand only if their prices are sufficiently high, because these are the status which shows the status, and these are the prestigious goods. So that's why according to him, these goods have more demand only if their prices are sufficiently high. Say for example, what are the example for these Veblen goods?
Apple goods.
Okay,
Precious stone.
precious stones, diamonds, jewelry. Very good. What are the other things? Apple products, huh? Okay. So yes, diamond, jewelry, all these precious, goods, the prestigious goods have more demand because their prices are abnormally high, which shows their status of upper class people. That's why, it is the distinction is significant in demand and jewelry by the society. If anybody have, more of diamonds, more of, jewelry, they have a different status in the society. So that's why, they want to buy costly things. If the prices of diamonds are very high, so generally people will buy more of goods. These, upper class people, will spend more on those, costly or prestigious goods. If their price falls, they will no longer, generally be considered as a articles of distinction. What will happen then? Their demand will decrease. Isn't it? Take an example of BMW car. If they reduce the BMW car prices by 20%, what will happen? 20%.
More sale.
Yes, generally when they reduce 20%, normal people anyway can't buy the BMW car, even if it is 20% reduced, isn't it? So,
Yes, sir.
but other people, those generally buy these BMW car, they think that when they reduce, means it become a low quality product, or it reduces their prestige. So that's why they buy when the price is very, very high. These are the articles of distinction, because the distinction is very significant with these commodities. So can you give any other examples for this? Veblen goods. You said diamond, jewelry. Very good. Any other goods? Any other goods? Anybody? Any other goods?
Designer clothes.
Yes, designer clothes. Yes, sometimes they spend huge money on designer clothes. Okay.
Diamonds.
Diamonds, yes.
Alcohol, sir.
Alcohol means some some branded things you're talking about.
Yeah.
Very old one. Branded one. We need to spend a lot. Okay. Say say for example, what is the purpose of watch?
Time.
Time.
And
To show
you can buy a watch. You can buy a watch for 100 rupees in Koti, and also the same watch. People are spending. Few people are spending on lakhs of rupees on that same thing, isn't it?
Yes.
Say for what is the purpose of a pen? We can buy a pen for a 3 rupees or a 10 rupees or 5 rupees, but some people are spending the same pen for the same purpose. They're spending 50,000 rupees also, isn't it? Which means
Yes.
those are called articles of distinction. That is the prestigious goods. These are called Veblen goods. Some art pieces. If you see auctions, in auctions people will buy. We spend crores of rupees on art pieces, isn't it? What
Yes,
what
sir.
they will get? What they will get? They'll get. It's all about prestige. It's all about prestige, isn't it?
Premium.
So those are called Veblen goods or articles of distinction. In those cases, the law of demand is nullified or not applicable, isn't it? The price increases of these prestigious goods, people also will buy more. More demand will be there. The price reduces, price decreases, so the demand also will decrease. So this is an exception to the law of demand. Okay, the second one, we'll go to we'll discuss about the giffen goods. What is giffen goods?
Low quality goods, sir.
Yes, these are the low quality goods. So generally, after there is in 1845, I think there is a famine in Irish. So after that, famine, they observed the potatoes crop failed due to a plant disease, potato plant disease called late blight. So basically that disease which destroys both leaves and edible roots, everything of the potato plant. So due to this, there is a huge scarcity for the potatoes on those days, and also the prices of potatoes increased tremendously. So then, despite the fact the price increase made people to find substitute for the potatoes in general, isn't it? When the price of a commodity increases drastically, what consumers will do? They'll search for the substitutes. But what they did is they moved away from the luxury products, so their overall consumption of potatoes increased those days. Instead of spending on their luxury items, they cut down their luxury items or the spending on the luxury product, and they've used that money also to buy the potatoes. Dr. Sir Robert Giffen, in around 19th century, he did a study on food farmers in the same Ireland. He identified this one. What he identified, generally those poor farmer spend their majority of income on potatoes. Those poor farmers spent their majority of income on those potatoes. So and also they spent small amount of income in meat. Spent majority of income on potatoes and small amount they used to spend on meat. So what happened? If you compare these prices, potatoes were cheap, but meat was costly, isn't it? When the prices of potatoes tends to increase, what they used to do, so the consumption of meat, they used to reduce and spend that amount on the potatoes. So when the prices of potatoes are increasing, what they used to do, they cut down the spending on the meat, and they save that money and they spend that saved money on the potatoes. So the overall consumption of potatoes increased drastically on those days. So what Robert the Giffen identified is, so these are called inferior goods. So when the prices of inferior goods increases, so people will cut down the spending on these superior goods, and they'll spend that amount on the inferior goods again. Okay. So these are called inferior goods. In India, what are the inferior goods we have in India?
Jowra, Bajra, and Ragi.
Jowar, Ragi, Bajra. Okay, these are as inferior goods. Earlier, people used to eat all these inferior goods. So now, because of our increase in our life standards and all, now we are using, most of them, we are using rice in this area. So say, for example, let me give an example. Suppose the minimum monthly consumption of a particular person is 30 kgs. How much? 30 kgs.
30 kg.
So when the minimum monthly consumption of a particular person is 30 kgs, so he is spending 20 kgs on bajra. He is buying 20 kgs of bajra and 10 kgs of rice. Say, for example, bajra is an inferior good, rice is a superior good. Inferior good and superior good. So what is his monthly consumption? Total monthly consumption?
30
kgs. Total monthly consumption is how much? 30 kgs. So now he is spending, he is buying how many kgs of bajra?
20
And how many kgs of rice?
10
Say, for example, the price of bajra is 5 rupees per kg. The selling price of bajra is 5 rupees per kg, and the rice is 10 rupees per kg. Okay, so now how much he is spending on the bajra, tell me. 20 into 5 rupees. 20 into 5 rupees,
100.
how much? 100 rupees. And 10 into 10 rupees, how much he is spending on the rice?
100
rupees. So what is the total amount?
200
200. Say, for example, his total income is 200 rupees. So for a particular person, total income is how much? 200 rupees. Now he is spending 100 rupees on bajra, 100 rupees on rice. Okay. So Yeah, let me give you this example. So when the price of a commodity is 5 rupees, when the price of a commodity is 5 rupees, he is spending how many kgs of bajra? 20 kgs of bajra. When the price of a commodity rice is 10 rupees, how much is spending?
10 kg.
10 rupees. So 10 into 10 is how much? 100 rupees. Now he is spending 100 rupees on rice. Sorry, I can't write with this mouse. And also 100 rupees on yeah, 100 rupees on
Bajra.
bajra. So now we know what is the total amount?
200.
200 is the total amount. 200 is the total amount. Say for example, when the price of a commodity increased, the bajra increased from 5 to 6 rupees. Increased from 5 to 6 rupees. Tell me how much he need to spend on bajra now?
120.
Yeah, how much he need to spend? He need to spend 120 rupees now. I'm so sorry. Then I need to buy this. Yeah. So how much? This is 120. Then you know how much amount he left. Total
80.
income is 200. Now he has only 80. So with that 80 rupees, how many kgs he can buy?
8.
8 kgs of rice he can buy. So what is the total now? How much he can buy? 28 kgs. Isn't it? Earlier, 28 kgs he can buy with the increase in 1 rupee in bajra prices. So, but what is his minimum consumption, minimum monthly consumption of
30.
food grains? 30. Now he is not able to meet that minimum consumption, minimum monthly consumption. What he will do now, instead of spending, buying, 20 kgs of bajra, he may buy 25 kgs of bajra. How much it is? 25 into 6, how much? 25 into 6, how much?
150.
150.
50.
So then 150, then 5 into 10 is how much?
50. Oh,
50. Correct. 5 into 10 is how much? 50. So now we know what is the total now? 200. So what is the total number of kgs he is getting?
30.
30. Now tell me in this example, when the price of a commodity, the bajra, increased from 5 to 6 rupees, what happened now? When the price of a commodity, bajra, when the price of a bajra is 5 rupees, what is the quantity demanded? What is the quantity demanded? 20.
20.
When the price increased from 5 to 6 rupees, what is the quantity demanded now?
25.
25 cases. Because when the price increases, when the price of inferior goods increases, generally consumers, what they will do, they will cut down the spending on the superior goods. They will cut down the spending on the superior goods. So then they'll spend on that savings they'll spend on the inferior goods. So that way, at the time of when the price of inferior goods are increases, so people will buy more of inferior goods. Okay, so am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, shall I go to other point?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then okay, next one is third one is highly elastic essential goods. Sorry, highly essential goods. What are these highly essential goods? Highly essential goods.
Medicines.
Yes, good. In case of certain highly essential items such as life-saving drugs, people buy a fixed quantity at all possible price. Am I right? These are life-saving drugs. We can't do anything. Say for example, heart patients will buy the same quantity of medicine, whether the price is high or low. Their response to price change is almost nil. Am I right? So in case of such commodities, the demand curve will be like a vertical straight line. This is vertical straight line. Okay. Vertical straight line, see, vertical straight line. Which means what? If the quantity, if the price of the commodity increase from P1 to P2, what is the change in quantity demand? Understood?
Remain.
When the price of a commodity increases from the P1 to P2, there is no change in the quantity demanded. So in case of those commodities, when the price increases, you will buy it. You will buy it. When you met with an accident, when you go to hospital, you never compare the price. They said, they wrote medicine. Last time when I met with an accident, the price of this medicine is this much. Why it is? No, you never compare because you have to buy that. Isn't it? These are highly essential goods. So for those highly essential goods, the demand curve is likely to be a vertical straight line. So whether the price increase or decrease, irrespective of price, you have to buy that commodity. So at that time, in this case, law of demand won't be applicable. If the price increase also, we will buy the same amount. The price decrease also, we will buy the same amount. Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Highly essential goods.
So could you explain again?
This one, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, in highly essential goods, which means these are, we have to buy at any cost. Life-saving drugs, I gave an example. Okay, so whether the price of drugs or medicine increase or decrease, you have to use the same quantity. I gave one example. Heart patients will buy the same quantity of medicine, so irrespective of the price changes. The simple example, salt is there. Simple example I'm giving. Salt is there. If the prices of salt increases, what we will do? Shall we buy?
Yes, sir. We will buy.
We will buy at any cost. So when the prices of salt decreases, will you buy more?
No, sir.
Generally we won't, because we need some quantity at any cost. We'll buy that quantity. So when these are highly essential goods, irrespective of the price change, so we will buy those goods. So when the price of a commodity increases, so there is no increase in the demand. So that's why here the law of demand won't work. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then we'll go to the next point. Yeah. What it is? Emergencies. What emergencies? During emergencies such as war, natural calamity, calamities like floods, drought, earthquakes. The best example is corona pandemic. What will happen actually? What the consumers will do? See, at these times, the law of demand becomes ineffective. In those situations, people often buy the huge commodities. So this storage of essentials, they'll store all the essentials. Then demand for those goods will increase if the price increases. Do you remember initial days of corona, initial days of lockdown, people used to buy more commodities, much more than what they need. Much more than what they need because of fear. Whether we may get it, we may not get it in the future. So they will, in the time of emergencies, people will buy more of commodities. They'll try to store, and also they'll store for the future. At that time, when even the price of a commodity increases, they'll buy more. They'll buy more. And then what is the next one? Bandwagon effect. Anybody what it is basically? Bandwagon effect. This is generally almost a common type of exception to the law of demand. Anybody? Any idea what is bandwagon effect?
No, sir.
No? Okay. Generally, some wherein basically consumers tries to purchase those commodities which are brought by his friends, relatives, neighbors. Isn't it? So generally, the consumers try to buy what their friends bought. The consumers are influenced by the friends, relatives, neighbors. So say for example, a peer pressure. If the group of friends are buying the same product, then one person belong to that particular group also wants to buy that. Isn't it?
Yes.
So most of the time it will happen for the students, especially this word called peer pressure. We will buy goods, we will buy things only because of the peer pressure. Say for example, the majority of your group members or classmates are you having smartphones, then that student also want to buy this smartphone even though the prices are increasing. Isn't it? Majority of your friends are buying a bike, you will also want to buy a bike, even the prices are increasing. Isn't it? So those are called, bandwagon effect. We never think about, the changes in the price because we will buy because others are buying. We will buy because our friends are bought. We buy because, our relatives are buying. Okay, so we never think. So it's like an impulsive purchase. What is impulsive purchase basically? Impulsive purchases are, without thinking much, we will buy commodities. Isn't it? If you like it, you will buy it.
Yes, sir.
You never think about it. When you go there, when you go to, especially when you go for a shopping mall. So when you like it, you will buy it. Isn't it? You never think what is the price, last time. So what is the increase in the price? So is it 10% increase or 20? You never think about all those things. You go, you like it and buy it. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
So that time, this law of demand won't agree. People, consumer or customers never, compare the prices. So those are called impulsive purchases. Sometimes, this bandwagon effect also it is like that. We will buy without thinking much. So whether increased or decreased, we will buy because our friends are buying. We will buy because our relatives are buying. These are the various exceptions to the law of demand. Okay, any doubts? Any doubts? Shall I go forward?
Yes.
Okay, then quickly try to understand change in quantity demand, which means an increase in price cause and decrease in the demand. That is law of demand. Do you remember? An increase in price
Yes, sir.
cause decrease in quantity demanded. Listen carefully. A decrease in price cause an increase in quantity demanded. Am I clear? Am I clear?
So can you repeat that
Can
one?
yes.
An increase in demand refers to, sorry, the change in quantity demand. So an increase in price causes the decrease in demand, quantity demand. That no? When
Yeah,
the
yeah.
price increases from P0 to P1, the quantity decreases from Q0 to Q1. Price increases, quantity decrease.
Yes, sir.
Next one, a decrease in price. When the price is decreased, what will happen? The quantity demanded will increase. Okay, listen carefully. An increase in demand, which means an increase in demand refers to the rightward shift in the market demand curve. The market demand curve shifted to right, which means what? An increase in demand. If the market demand is shifted to right, which means an increase in demand. What is decrease in demand? A decrease in
Sir, will you
demand
repeat that
refers
again, sir?
simply an increase in demand means when the market demand curve shifted to right. Say for example, price is P0 here. The demand curve is shifted from here to here. So what is happening now?
Sir, this is due
From
to
here to here. I'm just telling a point, which means if the demand curve shifted to right means it is an increase in demand. You remember like that. Okay. A demand curve shifted to right means an increase in demand. And demand curve shifted to left means a decrease in demand. Demand curve shifted to left means a decrease in demand. Shifted to right means an increase in demand. Just remember like that. Okay.
yes, sir.
See, shift of the demand curve. Listen carefully. The shift of the demand curve from left to right, vice versa, shows the change in demand. Now tell me, so if the demand curve shifted from left to right, what it means?
Increase in demand.
Very good. If the demand curve shifted to right to left, what it means?
Decrease in demand.
Decrease in demand.
Yeah, yes, very good. A change in demand may also happens even if there is no change in the price. Okay, so if the demand curve shifted to right, which means, in that previous example, D1 to D2, that shows that an increase in demand. If the demand curve shifted to left, which means D2 to D1, which shows the decrease in demand. So what are the causes for increasing in demand? So the factors that can shift the demand curve to the right, which means increase in demand. So when the income increases, even the price of a commodity is same, what will increase?
Demand.
Demand increase. The demand curve will shift to left to right. If the product preferences changes or expectations of speculation changes, so people expect or speculate that there will be a change in the prices of a commodity, increase in the prices of a commodity. At present price, they will buy more, isn't it? Then because of increasing the number of consumers, increase the demand. Celebration or occasion increase the demand. The price decrease of a complementary product also increase the demand of a particular product. So all these cases will increase the demand. They will shift the demand from left to right, which means there is an increase in the demand. Okay, see in these examples, increase in the demand. D1 to D2, D1 to D2. Income increases, even the price at 20 rupees. So when the income increases, maybe quantity demand will increase from 20 to 40. Okay, understood.
Yes, sir.
Then sometimes decrease means from right to left it is decrease. What are the factors will influence the decrease in demand? Say decrease in income. When the income decreases, even though there is no change in the price, when the income decreases, the quantity demanded will decrease, isn't it? When the price increases of a complementary good, so then that also will reduce the demand for our particular good. Consumers do not speculate about price increases, then that is also will decrease the demand. Decrease in the number of consumers, then also decrease the demand. Price decrease of the substitute goods. So these are the various factors that cause the decrease in demand. Okay, that cause the decrease in demand. So we have, quickly I will give. So I will tell, the demand curve shifted to right means increase or decrease?
Increase.
The demand curve shifted to left, increase or decrease?
Decrease.
Decrease. What are the reasons? Anyway, I am going to keep this PPT in the Moodle. So there you can once again read that. So any questions other than this? Any questions?
No.
Any questions?